The Pittsburgh Steelers trade for a Pro Bowler, it just heated up again. And okay, today I'm going to talk about Jonnu Smith and kind of how this is the definition of an on-again, off-again relationship. It kind of sounds like high school girlfriend drama, but this trade now makes sense for two brand new reasons that just emerged. And also in this video, I'm going to cover a signing from today that really bolsters your secondary. But let's get right to it. Let's get to Jonnu Smith and what's going on. And if you remember, I covered it here. Adam Schefter said a week ago that Pittsburgh and Miami were definitely discussing a trade that would send Jonnu Smith to the Steelers. And then on Tuesday morning, Adam Schefter said that he was hearing from Pittsburgh that they were not expected to trade for Jonnu Smith. And both sides, Smith and Miami, wanted to stay together. But now, another brand new report from Schefty, it just emerged. It stated that the trade was now still alive and that the two sides were in open talks again. So Schefty's latest reporting, that included a key detail that wasn't really shared before for real, that Smith is definitely pushing hard for a new contract. So that's brought us here. And the trade on paper, it makes sense, right? Smith likely wouldn't cost much, and it definitely would be an upgrade for the Steelers. They've already remade the top of their pass-catching group. You guys know DK Metcalf is in, George Pickens is out, and on top of that, there's now a reason that Pittsburgh might be pursuing Smith more aggressively that just came out. It just happened, and it happened between Tuesday morning and Tuesday afternoon, and it's actually pretty sad news that Steelers tight end Donald Parham Jr., he tore his Achilles, and he's out for the season, and that really puts the Steelers back in the market for a tight end because Parham, he was primarily on the roster for his pass-catching ability. So now, here we are. Smith, who wants a new contract from the Dolphins, has been in trade rumors last week when the Steelers inquired about him. Could that come back around right now? Could Smith land with the Steelers? With this news today, a few things are becoming clear. Miami is not negotiating with Jonnu to try to keep him. They're looking like they want to move on from him at this time because Smith wants a reworked contract. He's scheduled to make $4.8 million this season, but he'd like that number to be increased, and the Steelers did land Smith. If this happens, it might be an odd fit, and we're going to talk through it, but that's first and foremost, you're like, hey, doesn't the team already have Pat Freiermuth? Wasn't he already paid recently? Let's go to the Miami situation first, and I think they're in a bit of a transitionary or at least a pre-transitionary period. I think they're really close to rebuilding this team because you've got the team signaling that it needs to deal Pro Bowl cornerback Jalen Ramsey. Tyreek Hill's future seems uncertain. So you've got Smith at 29, Ramsey at 30, and Hill at 31, all in kind of the same ballpark age-wise. And if Miami decides to go in a younger direction, all three of these guys are sensible trade candidates, and they might be looking to unload some older players with potentially bloated contracts. And if you look at Smith, the guy was a Pro Bowl selection last year in 2024. First time in his career, set career highs last year of 88 receptions, 884 yards, 8 touchdowns in the Dolphins offense. And all those marks, once again, were also franchise records. He's going to turn 30 in August, and if you remember him and Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, they have so many connections throughout their career histories. You're looking all the way back in Tennessee, the player-coach duo. They worked really well for 4 seasons. That's when Arthur Smith was a tight ends coach, and then he took over as the team's offensive coordinator. And Jonnu then joined Arthur in Atlanta for a season after that as well. And even if everything with this Steelers trade falls through, I think Miami is going to work the phones in the league to try and trade this guy somewhere else. I think he is not playing for Miami in this upcoming year. And it also appears that the relationship with Jonnu and the Dolphins, it very well is coming to the end. So let's kind of talk about a few reasons to bring him into Pittsburgh, how he fits on the team. And I don't think it's as an awkward or unneeded fit as, preliminary looks at it actually appear to be. So first of all, the guy's on an upward swing in his career. We're looking at, for the second year in a row, he's setting career highs 88 catches once again for 884 yards and 8 scores. Look at his previous season in Atlanta the year before. He set a career high then in 2023 with offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. Got to remember that. 50 catches for 582 yards. But it's not all about numbers. It's how these yardage totals got to this. He made explosive plays. We're looking at 5.8 yards per catch. That was 4th among tight ends last year. And then the previous year, he was at a whopping 7.1 yards after the catch, and that ranked 3rd in the league. Last year wasn't an anomaly. It's a trend. This guy is on the upswing, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have a chance to add him to their team. And it also fits really well into the tight end room. You've got Freiermuth, 6'5", catches seam balls primarily, right? Vertical routes are his specialty. He does that with the best of them, and that's why he just got paid. And now you look at Washington, another beast at 6'7", 264 pounds. The guy blocks the pass and the run really well. He's still coming into his own as well at age 23. He's still super young. So you're looking at Jonnu. Essentially, he's another wide receiver. He's a guy that can line up anywhere on the field. He's just not really an effective blocker. He's essentially another wide receiver. He's very experienced with your offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh. And also keep in mind, the Steelers ran the 5th most 12 personnel last year, and that's likely going to continue. That gives him a weapon to mix and match, to create advantages for the defense to worry about. So we might be looking at using Smith on primarily passing plays. Washington, he can be the inline blocker when you want to pound the ball. He's pretty much an extra offensive lineman in that situation. 264 pounds and 6'7", really good blocker. And then Freiermuth, he can play any down, any situation. Just some creativity is added to the team through the personnel advantage that Jonnu could definitely provide. So I think he's a really good addition for the team. I think he's definitely available. I think this is a trade that Pittsburgh should pull the trigger on. The guy's versatile. The guy can be an extra pair of hands. The guy can be a mismatch nightmare that our offensive coordinator really knows how to use. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments regarding that pickup. So let's get to the signing for today. The Pittsburgh Steelers just signed former Chicago Bears defensive back Quidell Johnson to a deal. And the guy's 25 years old. He's played 9 NFL seasons, all during the 2023 season. He recorded 3 tackles and 1 interception. He played in 9 NFL games. All during the 2023 season. That's 3 tackles and 1 interception. Not a lot of stats on him. He's an undrafted safety out of Memphis. In 2023, he originally signed with the Los Angeles Rams as a UDFA. He's since kind of bounced around the league, right? He's spent time with the Chicago Bears in 2024, then the San Francisco 49ers that same season. So as far as the Steelers safety room, this isn't a huge signing, but it's going to provide some competition. Plenty of candidates to sneak onto the 53-man roster at the end of the summer in this safety room. You've got Johnson joining the mix of Sebastian Castro. He's the next level of defensive backs with potential to make the team. Castro, I just covered him a few videos ago. Check it out. The team really likes him. I really like him as a candidate to make the 53. And, so he's going to have to primarily Johnson is going to have to primarily outshine Castro. And you've also got Juwan Thornhill, Miles Killebrew. Some guys are kind of fighting for the last spots on this roster. You're kind of looking at as far as what Pittsburgh typically does. They typically bring 4 to 5 safeties onto their active roster. You've got the top end. Those guys aren't going to get knocked out of their spots. You've got Minkah Fitzpatrick, Deshaun Elliott, and Thornhill. All these guys are expected to fill 3 of those roles. So you're pretty much looking at 2 more spots on the roster available at safety. Castro, I think he's the favorite, undrafted rookie out of Iowa. But I think Johnson is going to have to fight him for one of the last roster spots. So mostly to provide competition, not a huge signing, but he joined the team today, and I just wanted to cover it. But primarily, let's keep our eyes on this Jonnu Smith. possible trade that might be going down. I'll continue to give you news on that as I give you Pittsburgh Steelers news on the daily. And I'm here to provide a kind of an outsider's view, a non-fan view of your Pittsburgh Steelers because, confession, I'm primarily a Bears fan. I have a Bears channel, check it out. But when Justin Fields came to Pittsburgh, I was super intrigued. Justin Fields fan, I started watching Steelers games, and before I knew it, I was doing a Steelers channel. So you guys, I'm here to continue to provide impartial Pittsburgh Steelers news on the daily. Continue to join me, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. It blesses us more than you would ever know. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk soon. See ya.